Welcome back, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is time to read our second chapter of Judy Blume's Freckle Juice. Chapter 2. That night, Andrew had trouble sleeping. He kept thinking about freckle juice. Maybe the reason no one in his family had freckles was because no one knew the secret recipe. If they had ever heard of freckle juice, then how could they have freckles? It figured. Andrew didn't like the idea of paying Sharon for anything, and 50 cents was a lot of money. It was 5 whole weeks of allowance, but she decided that if Sharon's recipe didn't work, he'd ask for his money back. It was easy. The next morning, Andrew turned the combination of his safe bank to just the right numbers, 4 on top and 0 on the bottom. He took out 5 dimes, and he wrapped them in a tissue and stuffed the whole thing in his pocket. He didn't have any time to wash his ears or neck or anything. He wanted to see Sharon before the last bell rang. "Bye, Mom," Andrew called. "Andrew Marcus, wait a minute." His mother hurried over to him. She almost tripped on her long bathrobe. Those curlers in her hair scratched Andrew's face as she checked his ears and neck. "Please, Mom, can't we skip just this once?" Andrew begged. Mrs. Marcus stepped away from Andrew. She pointed a finger at him. "Okay," she said, "I'll let you go this time, but tomorrow I'm looking again. And Andrew, zip up your pants." Andrew looked down. Zippers were a pain. "This afternoon, when you come home, I'll be next door. Mrs. Burrows invited me over to play cards. You could come get the key for me, okay?" "Sure, Mom, okay." Andrew raced to school. He could hardly wait to see the secret recipe. First, he'd look at it, and if it didn't seem any good, he wouldn't pay. Sharon was already at her desk when Andrew arrived. He went right over to her. "Did you bring it?" he asked. "Bring what?" Sharon opened her eyes real wide. "You know what! The secret recipe for freckle juice. Oh, that! I have it right here." Sharon patted her pocket. "Well, let's see it." "Do you have 50 cents?" Sharon asked. "Sure, right here." Andrew patted his pocket. "I'm not going to show it to you until you pay," Sharon said. Andrew shook his head. "Oh no, first I want to see it." "Sorry, Andrew. A deal's a deal." Sharon opened a book and pretended to read. "Andrew Marcus," Miss Kelly said, "will you please sit down?" The second bell just rang. "This morning we'll begin with arithmetic. Nikki, please pass out the yellow paper. When you get your paper, begin working on the problems on the board." Andrew went to his seat. Then he took the tissue with the 5 dimes out of his pocket. He held it near the floor and aimed it towards Sharon. She sat in the next row. Sharon stuck out her foot and stepped on the tissue. Then she slid over until she could reach it with her hand. She bent down and picked it up. Miss Kelly didn't notice. Sharon counted the 5 dimes. Then she took a piece of folded up white paper out of her pocket and threw it to Andrew. It landed in the middle of the aisle. Andrew leaned over to pick it up, but he lost his balance and fell out of his chair. Everyone laughed, except for Andrew and Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly sighed. "Oh, Andrew, what are you up to now? Bring me that note, please." Andrew picked up the secret recipe. He didn't even have a chance to see it. It wasn't fair. It cost him 50 cents for nothing. He handed it to Miss Kelly. She read it, and then she looked up at him. "Andrew, you may have this back at 3 o'clock. She put the paper in her desk. "I don't want this to happen again. Do you understand?" "Yes, Miss Kelly," Andrew mumbled. "Good. Now let's get that arithmetic done." Miss Kelly wasn't bad, Andrew decided. She could have ripped up the recipe, or sent him to the principal's office, or even made him stand outside in the hall by himself. Andrew could hardly wait for 3 o'clock to come. He didn't bother counting Nicky Lane's freckles. Soon he'd have his own. When the second bell finally rang and the class marched down the hall, Andrew went up to Miss Kelly. She held the piece of white paper and waved it at him. "Here's your note, Andrew. I have a feeling it's important to you. But from now on, you must pay attention in class." Andrew took the recipe from Miss Kelly. "After tomorrow, I won't have any trouble paying attention," he promised. "Just wait, Miss Kelly. I won't have any trouble at all." So, that was the end of Chapter 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm now going to read the Chapter 2 comprehension questions. Question number 1. Why does Andrew think that no one in his family has freckles? Is it A, because they did not like them, B, because they didn't know about freckle juice, or C, because they were born that way? So why does Andrew think that no one in his family has them? Okay? Question number 2. How much was Andrew going to spend to buy freckle juice from Sharon? Was it A, 50 cents, B, $9, or C, nothing? Question number 3. What did Andrew not have time to do in the morning? Was it A, get dressed, B, get out his money, or C, wash his ears and neck? Question number 4. Why was Andrew excited to go to school? Was it A, he wanted to see his friends, B, he wanted to see the freckle juice, or C, he wanted to read his book? Number 5. What did Sharon want Andrew to do first? A, pay for the freckle juice, B, try out the freckle juice, or C, smell the freckle juice? Number 6. How did Andrew give Sharon the money? A, he threw it on her desk, B, he asked the teacher if he could go give it to her, or C, he slid it on the floor to her? Question number 7. What happened when Andrew tried to pick up the secret recipe? A, he brought it to his desk, B, he fell out of his chair, or C, he left it on the floor? And this is the last question, number 8. What did Miss Kelly do with the secret recipe? A, make Andrew get it at 3 o'clock, B, make Andrew's mom come and get it, or C, throw it away? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you again tomorrow.